Never-Ending Narratives presents The Sorcerer-Sword, written by hero protagonist.
Kenji. Day 4. The things that wait. The ember is different. I feel it before I open my eyes. Deeper, wider, settled into spaces it didn't occupy yesterday. The altar took something from me, and the long rest gave it back with interest, more foundation, like a house that had its cellar dug deeper overnight. My hand, I flex it. The skin is tight. The angry red has faded to a dull pink, like a sunburn halfway through healing. Everything else feels whole, strong, rested in a way that goes beyond sleep. My stomach disagrees. The hunger hits before my eyes are fully open, sharp, immediate, the furnace demanding fuel. I sit up. The camp is small and well hidden. Rin's work, the fire tucked behind the fallen tree, smoke dispersing through the canopy. Bedrolls in a tight circle, dawn light filtering through the trees in cold gray shafts. Rin is crouched by the fire, turning strips of dried meat on a flat stone. He sees me move and wordlessly holds out a portion. Meat, hard bread, the last of the dried fruit. I take it and eat. He watches me eat with the expression of a man who has recalibrated what the word hungry means. Edwin is beside Harlan's bedroll. The priest looks tired but steady. Harlan hasn't moved, but the black veins are nearly invisible now. Faint gray shadows under the skin where yesterday there were dark roots. Edwin has a damp cloth on the man's forehead.
He stirred twice in the night.
Edwin says without looking up.
No words, but his eyes moved beneath the lids. He's climbing back toward consciousness. Could be hours, could be today.
And Sarah, she's sitting against the same tree where she started her watch. Sword across her knees, eyes on the tree line facing the burning farm. Her posture says she hasn't moved. The circles under her eyes say she didn't sleep. She feels me looking.
I'm fine,
she says, the way people say I'm fine when they're not and don't want to discuss it. Let's get Harlan back home, I say. Sarah looks tired. I'll take point. Edwin, let me know if you see that tree with the sap I need. Thanks for waiting for our return, Rin. Sarah opens her mouth to argue. I can see it forming. The objection, the I'm fine, the refusal to give up the position she's held since this party started walking. Sarah. She holds my gaze for 3 seconds, then sheathes her sword and stands. The motion is slightly slower than usual. She notices me noticing, and her jaw tightens.
Fine. You take point. I'll cover rear.
She picks up her pack.
Oh, wake me if something has 6 legs.
Rin's gratitude when I thank him is quick and genuine, and immediately hidden behind his usual nervous efficiency.
I had a tree,
he says, packing the cooking stone.
Good tree, good sight lines.
He glances toward the Brennick farm.
Didn't need the sight lines. Nothing came, not even animals.
A pause.
That was almost worse.
Edwin lifts Harlan over his shoulder with a grunt. The man is light, Weeks of the present sustaining him left muscle but little weight.
I'll watch for the ironwood, silver-white bark, ley line proximity.
He looks toward the trade road.
If it's anywhere, it's between here and the stretch where the corruption started thinning on our way in.
I take point. The trade road looks different heading southwest. The corruption is still there. Gray bark, curling leaves, the iridescent sheen on stream stones. But it's less aggressive than yesterday. The edges are softer. A patch of undergrowth that was solid gray yesterday has a faint green undertone at the roots. A tree that was leaning at a wrong angle seems to have straightened by a single degree. Small things, barely visible, but the forest is responding. The cycle is turning and the land knows it. The silence has a crack in it too. A single bird call, distant, tentative, like the first voice testing the acoustics of an empty room. I fall into step beside Edwin and remind him about the ironwood. Silver-white bark, smooth, grows near ley lines. Aldrich needs the sap.
I know ironwood,
He says.
The temple archives mention them as markers. They grow where the boundary between our world and the divine runs thin. Ley line anchors.
He glances at the corrupted undergrowth.
If the corruption hasn't killed them.
I scan the tree line as we walk. Dark-barked oak and ash and twisted elm. No silver-white bark. 90 minutes into the walk, Edwin speaks.
Kenji, left, 30 feet off the road.
I stop. Look. Through the undergrowth, rising from a mossy depression where the stream passes close to the road, a tree, maybe 20 feet tall, young compared to the ancient oaks around it. But the bark, silver-white, smooth, luminous in the gray morning light like polished bone. It doesn't look like it belongs in this forest. It looks like it grew here specifically to be found.
Ironwood.
Edwin says.
And look at the base.
The corruption stops 3 feet from the ironwood's trunk. A perfect circle of clean earth around its roots. Green moss. Actual green. Small white flowers pushing up through the soil.
Ley line anchor.
Edwin murmurs.
The corruption can't touch it. The tree is holding the line. Drawing clean energy from the ley line below and pushing the bleed back.
I pull the empty vial from my pack. Hand axe. A careful V-shaped cut at chest height. The bark parts like butter. The wood underneath dense and pale, and the sap comes immediately. Amber. Thick. The smell. Hot copper. Sharp and metallic, like a forge in liquid form. The vial fills in 30 seconds. I stopper it and hold it up to the light. The amber liquid catches the morning gray and glows faintly from within. The cut in the tree seals itself as I watch, the bark knitting close in slow motion. 10 seconds, and there's nothing left but a faint line already fading.
Remarkable,
Edwin says.
The tree heals itself. The ley line feeds it, and it feeds the ley line. Another cycle.
He looks at me with an expression that says he's going to be thinking about cycles for a very long time. I hand the vial to Ren. He takes it carefully. Ironwood sap. Take it to Aldrich and Duskfin. He knows what to do. Then bring the finished armor back to me. I meet his eyes. The road between here and Duskfin is the road we already cleared. You'll be safer than you were walking with us. He looks at the vial, at the road behind us, at the road ahead.
I can make Duskfin by evening if I move fast. Aldrich said half a day for the work. I leave now, arrive tonight, he works through the morning. I'm back on the road by midday tomorrow.
He pauses.
Where will you be?
Sarah and I will continue to clear a path to the delve. You and Edwin catch back up when you can. Edwin's expression shifts. Without me, you have no field medicine, no antitoxin, No consecrated wraps. No one to put you back together if something opens you up out there. He adjusts Harlan's weight. I understand why. Harlan needs to get home. But I need you to understand what you're walking into without a healer. Noted. He doesn't argue further. He pulls items from his satchel. Silverleaf tea, 3 doses remaining. Then the 2 iron discs, the flame seals.
Take them. If you find something at the delve that needs containing, these are the only tools that will do it.
He describes the rite. Place 1 seal on each side of the threshold. Press your palm to each and speak the words. By the wandering flame, I mark this threshold. What is within, remains within. 30 seconds of unbroken contact.
Simple.
He says.
Don't let anything interrupt you.
They head southwest, Edwin's satchel clinking, Harlan's unconscious form over the priest's shoulder, Ren's pack bouncing with every step. I watch them until the road bends and the forest takes them. Just the 2 of us now. The trade road stretching northeast into corrupted forest. Sarah stands beside me.
2 people, exhaustion, no healer, walking toward a nest of uncoordinated but still very alive hex crawlers that know we're coming.
She rolls her shoulders, winces.
You know this is stupid.
She draws her sword, checks the edge, sheathes it.
I'll manage the exhaustion. Don't slow down for me and don't ask me if I'm okay.
She looks at me with tired, sharp eyes and something else underneath.
Just keep that golden light trick ready. Whatever's at the delve might not be as talkative as your god.
She starts walking, northeast, into the gray. The road changes as we push deeper. The corruption reasserts itself. Gray bark, dead undergrowth, iridescent sheen. But the quality is different. Yesterday it felt like the breath of something alive and hungry. Today it feels like residue, stale corruption. The tide went out, but the wreckage is still on the beach. 2 hours in, I eat on the move, hard bread chewed between strides. Sarah watches me eat for the 3rd time today.
How often?
She says. Every 4 hours, or I start losing effectiveness.
That's a liability in the field.
The trade-off is I heal twice as fast as anyone you've ever met. She files that. 3 hours in. The track bends hard east and begins climbing. Rockier terrain. The trees gnarled and wind-bent. The corruption here is older, deeper, baked into the landscape. Tracks everywhere. 6-legged prints overlapping in the packed earth. Dozens of them, layered, old and new. A highway for hex crawlers. Every patrol route converging on a single point.
We're close.
Sarah says.
This is the convergence zone.
She points ahead where the track crests a rocky ridge.
The delve is on the other side of that rise.
She crouches, touches a print.
These are fresh, hours old. Multiple creatures. 4, maybe 5, moving back and forth.
She traces the pattern.
They're circling, defensive pattern, guarding something.
The ridge is 200 feet ahead. Rocky, sparse cover, boulders lining the approach. I tell Sarah to scout ahead, see if she can come up with a plan to crush them with the boulders. I'm fast enough to play bait.
Bait?
She repeats.
The man who touched a dying god yesterday wants to play bait.
She's already moving.
Give me 10 minutes. Don't move. Don't glow.
She slips into the rocks and disappears in 4 seconds. 10 minutes. She comes back belly crawling through the dirt, dust on her face, eyes sharp despite the exhaustion.
Found them.
She draws in the dirt with her finger. The ridge, a depression on the other side, a natural bowl 80 feet across. The delve at the bottom, old excavation entrance, timber-framed, half-collapsed. 5 X marks in the bowl.
5 hex crawlers, 3 circling the entrance, 2 stationary, flanking the mine mouth. One of the guards is wounded.
She looks at me.
The one that ran from us yesterday.
She taps the ridgeline. 3 circles.
3 loose boulder formations on the crest, cart-sized, sitting on cracked shale. The right impact and those rocks go down.
She traces the path with her finger. Boulders rolling downhill through the patrol loop.
You use the speed trick. Run the track loud. The 3 circling ones chase. They're pack hunters. They chase what runs. The path is narrow. They funnel into single file.
She folds her arms.
It's a good plan. It's also the kind of plan that kills you if you're 2 seconds slow.
Let's do it. Sarah nods, moves up the eastern side of the ridge, and disappears into the boulders, gone in 10 seconds. I stand alone on the track. 1 breath. The ember forks down my legs. Silver-white detonation under my first footfall. Arcane stride, active. I run. Not quiet, not careful, loud. Every silver-kicked footfall hitting packed earth like a hammer strike. The detonations echoing off boulders and up the ridge. I am a man-shaped announcement crashing up a mountain path, and I want everything on the other side to hear me coming. The response comes before I see it. That sub-frequency vibration. 1 voice, 2, 3. The circling patrol breaking formation and coming. They crest the ridge. 3 dark shapes pouring over the lip of rock and down the track. 6 legs each. 6 eyes each. Chitin gleaming wet. They see me. They see the silver light. They charge. The track narrows between the boulders. The hex crawlers funnel. Single file, no choice. The lead creature is 40 feet away. 30. 20. Closing fast. Faster than wolves. Faster than the cougar. The ridge crest. The cracked shale. 3 cart-sized boulders sitting on it like loaded dice. The timing window is now. My boots dig into the shell. The momentum fights me. Stride wants to keep going, but I plant, pivot, and stop at the exact point where the crack meets the boulder line. The lead hex crawler is 15 feet below me, climbing. All 6 eyes locked on, mouth open, that wrong sound filling the air. I draw the longsword. Thunder coils along the blade. I aim at the ground. The longsword comes down 2-handed into the cracked shell, and the thunder detonates. The sound is catastrophic. The crack races through the stone. The shell separates. The 3 boulders shift, tilt, and gravity takes over. The mountain moves. 3 boulders, each the size of a cart, roll off the shattered lip and down the slope in a cascade of stone and dust and thunder. The lead hex crawler doesn't have time to scream. The first boulder hits its center mass, and the creature ceases to exist. Chitin and fluid compressed into the earth. The second boulder takes the middle creature on the bounce. The third catches the rear creature from behind and carries it 30 feet down the slope in a grinding avalanche. 3 hex crawlers, dead, instantly, by gravity and timing, and a woman who reads terrain the way other people read books. The boulders reach the bowl. The wounded guard, the one that ran from us yesterday, missing chitin on his right flank, is standing directly in the path. It sees the stone coming, tries to move. Its wounded side betrays it. The boulder rolls over it with the indifference of geology. The 5th hex crawler, the healthy guard, leaps. 6 legs launching it sideways. The boulder clips its rear legs. It tumbles, hits the ground, scrambles upright. From the eastern formation, a shadow drops. Sarah lands on the hex crawler's back. Her arming sword punches through the chitin between its second and third shoulder joints, a gap she spotted from the ridge, filed, and waited for. The creature shrieks, bucks. She rides it for 1 second, twists the blade, and rolls free. The creature is on its side. 3 legs working, 3 not. Dark fluid pooling. 1 eye on Sarah, 1 on me.
This one's yours if you want it.
She calls up.
Or I finish it.
The hex crawler is making that sound. The sub-frequency vibration, but broken, stuttering, like a signal searching for a frequency that's no longer broadcasting. It's looking for the intelligence that used to direct it, the god's desperate will, the signal that went quiet when I restored the cycle. It's lost. I pick my way down the rubble-strewn slope, 60 feet of broken stone and crushed chitin. Sarah's sword is still raised. She watches me approach the creature with an expression that's assembling a question she can't quite form yet. 30 feet. 20. The creature's eyes track me, all 6. The broken vibration shifts, higher, faster. 10 feet. I can smell it. Acrid, chemical, the wrongness of something that shouldn't exist and knows it. 5 feet. I extend my right hand, palm out, open, the way you'd approach a wounded animal that doesn't know if you're salvation or the killing blow. The ember responds. A faint luminescence in my palm that's less weapon and more offering. Creation at its quietest. The hex crawler's broken vibration stops. 6 eyes fix on my palm, on the light. I touch its head. The chitin is cold, hard, wrong under my fingers. The ember pulses through my palm, gentle. A thread of creation touching something made entirely of entropy. The creature shudders. Every leg goes rigid. Every eye dilates. The broken vibration restarts, deeper, steadier. A heartbeat finding its rhythm. I feel it through the chitin. The moment creation touches the entropy inside this creature and doesn't fight it, it completes it. The creature's legs slowly relax. The 6 eyes half close. The mouth, those fish-hook teeth, closes. The whole body exhales a sound I've never heard a hexcrawler make. It sounds like relief. Its head turns under my palm, slowly pressing in. The way a dog presses its head into a hand it's decided to trust. Sarah hasn't moved. Her sword is still raised. 7 emotions she doesn't have names for.
Kenji,
Very quiet.
did you just tame a hex crawler?
I keep my hand on its head, push intent through the thread. What's inside? Show me. The bond vibrates. Impressions come. A map drawn in sensation. Darkness. Down. Tunnels that branch and converge. A main shaft descending steep. Timber supports, most rotted. A wider chamber, a natural cavern. The floor covered in iridescent fluid. Thick, ankle deep. Home. The creature's feeling, not mine. This is where they were made, assembled. The fluid is the medium, the raw material of unraveling given form. Deeper in the cavern, clusters. Shapes in the fluid that haven't finished forming. Half-made things. Legs without bodies, eyes without skulls. A factory running on anguish. Then something different. Deeper still. Past the spawning pools. The bond flinches. A hand touching a hot surface. Something that was in the delve before. Older. Still. The creatures avoided it. Even the god's intelligence steered around it. The impression is colored entirely by avoidance. The hex crawler doesn't know what's down there. It only knows every instinct said, don't go deeper. I push one more thing through the bond. Gentler. I can't heal you. I'm sorry. The creature's eyes shift. One by one, slowly, they half close. The broken vibration changes. lower, softer. Not the stuttering signal, something more like acceptance. It knows what it is. It knows the God that built it from desperation is resting now. It presses its head into my hand one more time. I'll make it quick. The 6 eyes close. I draw the long sword. The ember doesn't infuse the blade. I don't ask it to. The blade finds the soft membrane beneath the jaw. The same spot I found on the first hex crawler at the mill. One clean thrust. The creature shudders once. The vibration stops. The eyes stay closed. It doesn't make a sound. I pull the blade free, clean it on the dead grass, sheath it. Sarah sheathes her own sword, steps beside me, looks at the creature at my feet. She doesn't say that was stupid or that was brave. She says something else.
You felt it. What's inside?
Tunnels, a main shaft going down into a cavern. The floor is covered in that iridescent fluid. That's where they were made. There are unfinished ones, half formed in the spawning pools, still active. She nods.
And?
Something deeper, past the spawning cavern. Something that was already there before the god's influence reached the delve. The hex crawlers avoided it. Even the intelligence directing them steered around it. Sarah is quiet.
So the old excavation broke into something. The god's bleed reached the delve and used it as a spawning ground. But whatever the excavation originally found, whatever caused them to condemn the site,
She looks at the entrance.
that's still down there.
She looks at me.
One problem at a time. The spawning pools. If they're still active, they'll keep producing. We need to shut them down.
I look at the entrance, at the sky, at Sarah's tired eyes. We'll use the knowledge we gain to avoid whatever's lurking deeper. But first, long rest. Here, it gives time for the party to catch up. We kill anything that comes out of that hole. Once we have everybody, we go in and destroy the nest. Sarah looks at the bowl, the narrow track, the ridge, the rubble. She sits on a boulder. The motion is heavier than it should be.
Edwin and Rin. If they left Duskfen at dawn tomorrow, Rin picks up the armor midday. They're on the road by afternoon. They reach us by late evening, maybe nightfall.
She looks at me.
30 hours. That's a long time for spawning pools to run, but it's better than going in half strength and not coming out.
A pause. Quieter.
Rest is the right call. I need it. You need the slots.
Something in her jaw tightens.
We set watches. 4 hours on, 4 off. I take first sleep. You wake me at dark.
She pulls her bedroll, lays it behind the eastern boulder formation. Defensible. Concealed.
Kenji,
Yeah?
if something comes out of that hole while I'm asleep,
She doesn't open her eyes.
don't tame it. Kill it.
She's asleep in 30 seconds. I eat. The last meal from our rations. The hunger settles. The ember calms. The afternoon passes. I sit on the ridge with the long sword across my knees and watch the delve entrance. The dark mouth stares back with the patience of a hole in the ground. The forest around the delve is the most corrupted I've seen. Every tree gray, the undergrowth dead. But at the edges, the border between gray and living forest has softened. Yesterday a hard line, today a gradient. The cycle, working. Dusk. I'm not sleeping yet. The rations are gone, and the furnace in my gut doesn't care about tactical timing. I'm going hunting before I sleep, I tell Sarah when she stirs. We're out of food. She looks at me from her bedroll.
Stay within earshot. If I hear that thunder trick, I'm coming.
If you hear the thunder trick, bring a plate. She almost smiles. I move south and west, toward the border where corruption meets living forest. The wildlife that fled didn't go far. It concentrated here. Refugees pressed against the wall. The signs come within 15 minutes. A young oak with its bark shredded at waist height. Deep gouges, tusks. The soil around the base churned into mud by something heavy. Rooting, marking territory. Boar. The tusk marks are wide set, wider than my hand span. The hoof prints in the mud confirm it. This isn't a pig. This is a creature that treats trees as personal insults. The trail leads to a thicket 200 feet south. Dense undergrowth around a clean running stream. I can hear it before I see it. Grunting. The heavy woof, woof of something breathing through a nose designed for war. I come in downwind. The thicket opens into a muddy clearing, and there it is. Massive. Shoulder height past my waist. Dark bristled hide caked in mud. Two tusks curving upward from a jaw designed by someone who hated everything. Small, furious eyes. It's rooting at the stream bank with the single-minded intensity of a creature that has never once considered the feelings of anything else. The ember forks down my legs. Silver-white detonation. Arcane stride. I don't approach quietly. I approach at 60 feet per second. 30 feet in 2 strides. The long sword clears the scabbard. Thunder coils along the blade. The boar's head snaps up. Small, furious eyes finding me in the half second between what was that and, oh, too late. The blade connects mid-sprint. A committed diagonal aimed at the rear flank, where the hide stretches thin over the hip joint. The long sword bites deep, and the thunder detonates. The concussive boom flattens the grass. The boar screams, a sound like metal being torn, and staggers sideways. The hide splits along the hip. It stays standing. 400 pounds of stubbornness keeping those legs locked. I'm already past it. The stride carries me through. I pivot, the extra action, the long sword coming around in a backhand slash at the same wounded flank. The second cut opens a parallel line across the first wound. The boar's rear leg buckles for one instant before rage overrides the injury. I dig in 30 feet past, turn, sword up. The boar turns, slowly. That wounded flank is dragging, but those small eyes have found me, and everything behind them has committed to a single decision. It charges, head down, tusks forward. 400 pounds accelerating to full speed in 2 seconds. I see the tusk coming. Purple light flares across my ribs, blade ward answering the commitment of real ivory, heading for real organs. The impact is enormous. The ward absorbs it, and the force spreads across the shield like a hammer hitting a bell. My feet leave the ground. I hit mud back first and slide, but the killing edge of it dissipates into violet light. I'm alive, bruised, on my back, but alive. The boar skids to a stop 5 feet from where I'm lying, snorting. Blood, mine and its own, dripping from the tusks. It stamps once, lowers its head. I roll and shove myself upright. 10 feet of distance. The ember opens a different channel. The shadow daggers. 5 shapes materialize from nothing, wickedly edged, black as ink, hovering at my shoulders like obedient wasps. I've never called them before, but they feel right. The boar charges again. I throw. The first dagger crosses 10 feet in a black streak and buries itself in the boar's left eye socket. The shadow blade dissolves on impact, and the boar's charge stutters. It screams, and warmth floods back through the channel the dagger left. The ember drinking the wound, feeding the damage back to me as heat that settles into my bruised ribs. The pain recedes, the body repairs. Second dagger, right eye. The black blade finds its mark, and the boar's head wrenches sideways. 2 eyes gone, the charge veering wildly off course. More warmth, more healing. Third dagger, The boar is blind and staggering, and the shadow blade takes it in the neck. The creature's legs buckle, and then it stands back up. One eye working, 3 daggers dissolved in its flesh, blood from everywhere. Legs shaking, breathing a wet, broken bellows, but standing, because that's what this thing does. Relentless, 400 pounds of pure refusal. The boar charges one more time, slower, weaving, a dying thing that doesn't know how to do anything else. The tusks pass a foot to my right. It can't correct, the ruined eyes betraying it at the moment of commitment. It stumbles past and hits a tree root and goes to its knees in the mud. 5 feet away, on its knees, one eye looking at nothing. The long sword comes down, clean, heavy, across the neck. The one working eye goes dark. 400 pounds of stubbornness finally runs out of reasons to stand. I work fast in the fading light. The hand axe does the heavy work. 4 thick haunches, ribs, the tusks, each one as long as my forearm, curved, dense ivory. I drag the best cuts back to the ridge. Sarah is sitting up on her bedroll, looking at me emerge from the tree line, carrying enough meat to feed a small army.
Boar.
She says. Giant boar.
How big?
400 pounds, give or take.
You were gone 90 minutes.
It charged me. I threw shadow daggers into its eyes, and it still got back up. Had to hit it twice to keep it down. She stares at me. The expression on her face has given up recalculating.
You're gonna eat most of this yourself, aren't you?
Probably. She shakes her head, lies back down.
Wake me at dawn and cook some of that. The smell of raw boar is not what I want to sleep to.
I build a small fire behind the boulders. The ribs go on the flat stone. Fat sizzles. Meat cooks. I eat. A full meal, hot, real, and the hunger that lives permanently in my gut finally goes quiet. I bank the fire, take my position on the ridge. The delve entrance stares up from the bowl. Dark, silent. Midnight comes. I wake Sarah, she takes the watch. I sleep. The night is long and empty. At some point, Sarah tells me later, around 3 in the morning, a sound came from inside the delve. Wet, heavy, like something shifting and fluid. Then nothing. The spawning pools, still working. Dawn comes gray and cold. I open my eyes. The ember is warm and deep and ready. The delve entrance is a dark rectangle in the morning light. Somewhere behind us on the trade road, Edwin and Ren are coming. Ahead of us, underground, something ancient waits beneath the factory of half-formed nightmares. The boar ribs are cold on the stone, but I eat them anyway. The furnace demands fuel, and the day demands everything else. Ding! End of day 4. No level up. The ember didn't grow louder. It grew more patient. Like a weapon that knows it will be needed soon, and is conserving its edge. Kenji. Human. Blade channeler. Sorcerer, swordsman. Level 3. Outlander. HP 21. A C 12. Initiative +1. Spell attack +5. Spell save DC 13. Strength 15/+2. Dexterity 13 /+1. Constitution 13/+1. Intelligence 9/-1. Wisdom 11/+0. Charisma 17/+3. Cantrips. Arcane Edge. Silver white weapon infusion. Adds force damage to every hit. Reflexive activation. Also works on sharp thrown projectiles. Blade Ward. Purple reactive shield. Have 1 physical hit. 3 uses per rest. Level 1 spells. Thunderous Strike. On hit, Expend a spell slot. Target saves or gets knocked prone and takes thunder damage. Charisma Surge. Expend a spell slot. Add charisma bonus to any one roll. Must be declared before rolling. Charm Person. One humanoid regards me as a friend for up to 1 hour. Arcane Stride. Enhanced via Speedster perk. 12-hour duration. Movement doubled while sprinting. No opportunity attacks. Extra action per round. Radiant Edge. Golden Radiant Weapon. Scales with slot level. Pushes supernatural darkness 30 feet. Full radiant damage against entropy and undead. Halved against normal enemies. Level 2 spells. Vampiric Daggers. Summons 5 Shadow Daggers. Throw 2 per action. Quarter damage healed, doubled by fast metabolism. First combat use. Day 4. Devastating against the boar. Perk, Speedster. Effect 1. Arcane Stride enhanced. 12 hours. No opportunity attacks. Extra action per round. Effect 2. Fast metabolism. All healing doubled. Hunger debuff triggers at 4 hours. Abilities. Arcane Momentum. Kill an enemy with Arcane Edge active, and I get 1 free bonus attack immediately. Sarah's Cage. Defensive Stance. +2 AC as an action, or once per combat as a reaction. Entropy Bond. New. Touch a creature of entropy and channel creation to bond it. Not control, connection. Requires charisma check. Bonded creature recognizes Kenji as part of the cycle. First use. Day 4. Bonded a dying hex crawler and received intel on the delve. Inventory. Longsword, merchant steel, well balanced. Hand axe, melee or thrown. Leather armor, Aldrich Sons, working condition. Ren's spare lockpick set. Sharp flintstones, 7. Fibrous tinder root. Sarah's map. Marin's map. Entropy anchor ring, wrapped, do not touch. Creature claws, 2. Hex crawler. Iridescent fluid sac, hex crawler. Silverleaf tea, 3 doses. 2 flame seals of the wandering flame. Boar meat, 4 haunches plus ribs, enough for 8 or more meals. Boar tusks, 2. Valuable ivory. Gold, 10. End of chapter 4.
This has been a Never-Ending Narratives production, The Sorcerer-Sword, written by hero protagonist. Thank you for listening. New chapters arrive weekly. Stay tuned.